Let's talk about this from the Associated Press. A judge has ordered RFK Jr.'s health department to stop sharing Medicaid data with deportation officials. No, the illegals receiving taxpayer-funded medical insurance. No, don't turn their information over. No, don't do it. Why would we do that? I mean, this is just, it's a ridiculous story. We absolutely should be doing this. We should be giving over the information of Medicaid recipients to ICE if the recipients aren't legal citizens. If they're not legal citizens, they shouldn't be on Medicaid in the first place. But I'll make the argument that they're allowed to be on Medicaid so long as Medicaid is allowed to send that information to ICE. You're allowed to go get your insurance, your free health insurance or whatever. But, you know, things might happen. Things might change. There's something in my background that keeps appearing. What is appearing in my background? I don't know what. There's something over here that keeps appearing. I don't know what it is. It's fine. It's whatever. There's a thing behind me. I don't know. Did I fix it? I think I fixed it mostly. Anyway. Okay, let's talk about this story. So judge orders RFK Jr.'s health department to stop sharing Medicaid data with deportation officials. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Why would a judge order him to stop doing that? And why are we giving free health insurance to illegals in the first place? Hello? A federal judge ordered that the nation's health department to stop giving deportation officials access to the personal information, including the home addresses of all 79 million Medicaid enrollees. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services first handed over the personal data of millions of Medicaid enrollees in a handful of states in June after an Associated Press report identified the new policy. 20 states filed a lawsuit to stop its implementation. Again, if my money is being taken and allocated to people for health insurance, that's one thing. But if you're going to take my money and allocate it for people's health insurance for people that shouldn't even be here, nah, that's not gonna fly with me. That's not how this goes down. Absolutely, RFK. I mean, this is just absolutely based by RFK Jr. I'll say it once. I'll say it again. I've said it once, I'll say it again. That's where I messed up. Said it once, I'll say it again. RFK Jr. may be the single best thing to come out of the Trump administration so far. I mean, this is just absolutely based. Incredibly based. Who else as HHS, the head of HHS, who else would be doing what RFK is doing on the grounds of food stamps, on the grounds of Medicaid data being shared with ICE, on the grounds of vaccines, the organ harvesting scandal? Like, there's so many things that RFK Jr. is just massive big wins. And look, I hope that they fight this. They absolutely should have access to this information, because if we're just giving this information to ICE isn't sharing it to anybody else, then okay, cool, all right. Literally all the information, if you're going to give it to ICE, the only people that ICE go after are people that aren't supposed to be here. So if you give ICE a list of people and they identify people that aren't supposed to be here, aka not even supposed to be on the list, yeah, I don't see a problem with that. There should be no issue. What's the issue here? So it says in July that the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services entered into a new agreement that gave the Department of Homeland Security daily access to view all the personal data, including Social Security numbers and home addresses of the nation's 79 million Medicaid enrollees. Neither agreement was announced publicly, nor should it be. It doesn't need to be. The extraordinary disclosure of such personal data to deportation officials in the Trump administration's far-reaching immigration crackdown immediately prompted the lawsuit over privacy concerns. The Medicaid data sharing as part of a broader effort by the Trump administration to provide DHS with more data on migrants. In May, for example, a federal judge refused to block the Internal Revenue Service from sharing immigrants' tax data with Immigration and Customs Enforcement to help agents locate and detain people living without legal status in the United States. Let's read that again. In May, for example, a federal judge refused to block. So they refused to block the Internal Revenue Service from sharing immigration tax data. So what that's saying there is that the IRS is currently working with ICE. The IRS is currently working with ICE to turn over all available information to help them find illegal immigrants, as all federal agencies should. Think about how stupid this is, right? you're a judge. You're a judge, right? And then you get this on your desk, and it's like, look, we have privacy concerns. We don't want this government agency sharing its information with other government agencies because we have privacy concerns. Sure, I get that. But think about it like this. If one government agency has proof of a crime being committed that is in the responsibility of another department, let's say, I don't know, HHS finds out that someone's committing tax fraud. Well, it's not HHS's responsibility to go after that, but HHS should absolutely turn over that information to the IRS so that IRS can go after people. Same thing here. If Medicaid and the HHS are getting these documents and they're like, oh, well, this guy's getting health insurance, but turns out they're not even a citizen. Well, it's not our department to deal with their citizenship status. We'll continue to provide insurance because that's the law for some of these states. We'll continue to provide insurance because that's all we can do. But we'll turn over the available information to the proper authorities. That's what should happen. There should be communication between the government agencies so that when a crime is committed and they have proof, you send it to the correct agency. That's what should happen. So I don't understand what's happening here, where a judge is like, oh, you have evidence of a crime being committed, and your department isn't responsible for handling those crimes being committed. Well, don't send it to the place that is responsible. Don't do that. What? That doesn't make... Why would you block it from being sent to the places that are supposed to handle that crap? That doesn't make sense. Oh, we just got a new follower, the Dark Avenger. What's up, the Dark Avenger? How's it going? How's it going? Yeah, guys, hey, make sure you go and subscribe on YouTube as well. There's a link down in the chat if you aren't already subscribed to YouTube. I believe there's also a link in the description if you're watching the video later on. Trying to get my numbers up on the YouTube, so help me out there, guys. But yeah, I think I've ranted on this long enough. Ridiculous story. I mean, why are federal authorities, or why is a federal judge looking to stop this? It's just that they want the country to be torn down. That's ultimately where I come to, is they just want the country to be torn down. What else can I say about it, really? What do you guys say?